this is Ree here. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. It really helps me a lot. Don't forget to check out my website, paradoxastrology.com. Book your consultation today. I can help you with anything. And if you would like exclusive occult videos that I don't post on YouTube and would like to support this channel, consider subscribing to my Patreon. Okay, let's get into this video. One of the most common things that people come to me for and believe that is happening to them is that they're cursed. I can tell you that 99.99999% of you are not cursed. It's just your own karma. I'm going to explain that. But for those who are, and I'm going to explain who may be cursed, I have a mantra that is from the Vedas. This mantra was taught by Swami Sanatandharma, who passed on many years ago. He gave us this mantra, which is from the Vedas, and it will actually destroy everything. If someone sent any black magic your way, if you consume something that had black magic within it, anything, it will completely destroy it. All you have to do is do it 108 times and it will work. Now, before I start that, I want to say that everybody thinks that they're cursed, okay? Everybody thinks that what they're going through is the worst thing that could ever happen in the world. I can tell you from seeing so much trauma and helping people with so much trauma that you're not cursed and that these traumas come from past lives. Now, your karma is your actions. And your actions come from this life and other lives. So you're repaying the karma in this life from many other lives. So you may come into this life and feel that you're completely innocent. Why is this happening to me? I never did anything to anybody. I'm such a good person. All I do is spiritual practices. I'm good to everybody. I must be cursed. Well, you are not born innocent, my friend. You've had infinite amount of lives and that accumulates karma. You weren't always a good person. There are lives where you could have been the most evil person in the world, and then you slowly woke up over time. And that's how reincarnation works. So we have to remember that. Now, it's also the transits, right? We're all going to go through things. It doesn't mean that you're cursed. You have to go through things in order to change and evolve. Loss is a part of that. Life is suffering. It's how you deal with the suffering. It's the understanding of the suffering that brings the meaning to the life. So you may think that I'm losing everything. I'm losing my business. I'm losing my home. I must be cursed. Things of that nature. But a lot of the times the loss is necessary for you to become who you're meant to be. So what you perceive as loss in the moment, in hindsight, you're going to understand that. Hopefully you understand. Some don't, but hopefully you do have that understanding eventually. That is the point of life. Also, the eclipses, certain transits that happen in our lives, certain Saturn transits, certain malefic transits, these things will feel like a curse. It'll feel like all of a sudden, why is all this happening all of a sudden? Someone must have cursed me. No, it's the transits, and it's a necessary part of your life. Your life is not supposed to be all positive. That's not realistic, and that doesn't help you grow. In order to grow, we're going to have to go through pain. And the more we accept that, our life will get a lot easier. A lot of people think they're cursed, but that is the ego. And the ego wants to believe that it is the one person out of everybody getting cursed. It wants to believe that its problems are the most worst problems that you could ever imagine. But it's not. The ego will make up a lot of things in your mind because it doesn't understand the ultimate higher purpose of what it's going through. So it will want to play victim. And that comes up when people say, I'm cursed. Most of the time, it is the result of your actions in this life. If you say, for example, eating very unhealthily your whole life, or you don't eat clean at all, you don't drink enough water, anything like that, and all of a sudden you're getting ill, that is a result of what you were eating. Or all of a sudden you gain weight, that's a result of your actions. That's the karma for your actions. So it's about understanding and taking responsibility for our lives. It's the only way we'll change it. I can tell you very traumatic things that I've been through personally. I thought I was cursed as well. Being human trafficked, I thought I was cursed. At the time, in hindsight, I realized, yeah, this is from a past life and a result of my actions in this life. a result of being naive. I was more in greed. So I was easily tricked by being an ego and wanting things out of ego and having someone try to deliver that to me. I'm just giving you that as an example because that's an extreme example. So I'm just showing you that if I can take responsibility of something, getting beat every single day and being trafficked for years, and finding my true power within that because I took responsibility, you can too, of certain things. I've been super broke. I've been super rich and I've been super broke where I lost everything in my life. And the reason I had to lose everything was to gain myself, because none of those things define who we are. And sometimes we have to lose those things in order to realize our true power. So that's just an example. Now, the people who would be cursed, that are cursed, that I have seen, if you're messing with black magicians. So for an example, I know of a sorcerer who is a blood sorcerer, is able to do very extreme things, is hired actually by top level people to do extraordinary things and some very dark things as well. Now, someone stole her work and tried to say that it was theirs, and she found out. That person got cursed. Okay, so if you're messing with occultists, you're messing with magicians, sorcerers, trying to steal their work or trying to come at them in any type of way, yes, they will defend themselves. And a lot of them don't believe in karma, which is the ego making that up. So you don't want to mess with someone who doesn't believe in karma because they'll do anything. It doesn't matter. Another way is if you are on the street. If you're, say, a drug dealer, prostitute, things in that nature, there is an underbelly of the occult that's used all the time. And people do curse each other in gangs. They put spells on each other. If you are someone who goes to prostitutes or escorts, if you are a trick, you could get cursed. People will do certain rituals on you to take your money. So just understand, when you're dealing with the underbelly of society, that these things can come up as well. And that is a result of your own karma as well, because you're paying for people that are slaves. There are consequences to that. Same in strip clubs, and that's not as well known. Also, if you're messing with high profile people who have a lot of money, who have a lot of access, resources, and a lot of occult knowledge. Most people who are very rich have a lot of occult knowledge. Okay, they didn't get rich by not knowing how the universe works. A lot of them who are rich go to India and they learn from tantrics, high-level sorcerers, and they are initiated. So there's certain people you don't want to mess with, okay? But if you are an average person living a very average life, you're not doing anything to anybody, no one's just going to curse you out of nowhere. That's not going to happen. Yeah, there are some people that will go to sorcerers in order to gain someone in a relationship or try to manipulate somebody else, but that's very rare, and the chances are they're getting ripped off by that sorcerer. There's a lot of fake sorcery that people are just charging a lot of money for and ripping people off. You wouldn't know. Or maybe you went to an occultist or you went to an astrologer and they told you were cursed. Well, they're trying to manipulate you so they can get more money from you. That's a very common scheme. So sometimes people think they're cursed because of that. If you're living a normal life, the chances are you're never going to have to deal with this, okay? But in the rare chances that you think you are, you can use this mantra. I'm going to post it right here of him saying it so that you can have the correct pronunciation.
The mantra is Om Para Mantra Vibhedinyai Namaha. 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 We bow to that divine power which is capable of completely tearing to pieces the conspiracies of somebody else who has managed to put some black magic spells.
If you don't have the exact correct pronunciation, it's okay. Try your best, do it once, and then it will clear everything. And then stop thinking about it. and move on with your life. If you think that maybe I am, just do it. Then it's gone. Move on with your life. If you keep thinking you're cursed after that, that's your ego trying to put you in victimhood. Now it's time for you to do some spiritual practices. The ego thinks it's special. Okay? If you don't have the pronunciation right, if you have the will, if it's off a little bit, it'll still work because you have the will to do this. If you 100% believe in this, know that it's going to work, it's going to work, regardless if you say it right or not. If you say it right, it's going to work regardless. It's not based on belief. You need belief if you're kind of saying it wrong, but it's not based on belief. This is science. This is the science of sound. That's a little bit to help you guys. Sorry if this was a little bit harsh on some, but some people need to hear this and realize that the ego will keep spreading thoughts in your mind until you start doing your practices, dissolving the ego, and stop identifying with your own thoughts. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you in the next one.